Olivia Whelan stood straight and tried to calm her racing heart. The hallway leading to the meeting room felt too long and too short at the same time. As the head of Earth's diplomatic team, she had trained for first contact for years, but no training could prepare her for the reality of meeting actual aliens. The ship that appeared above Earth 3 days ago shocked everyone. Its crystal-like shape didn't match any known design. It didn't use rockets or any propulsion humans could understand. It just appeared, sending out a message in perfect English. "We come to talk." World leaders argued for 2 days before picking Olivia's team to go up to the alien ship. Her background in languages and cultural studies made her the best choice, they said. Olivia wasn't so sure. 2 minutes, said Jack, her assistant, checking his watch. The airlock will open soon. Olivia nodded and smoothed her blue uniform. The Earth Alliance Space Force had given her the rank of Lieutenant Commander, just for this mission. The uniform was new and stiff. "Remember the protocol," she told her team of 5. "No sudden movements. Wait for them to speak first. Don't show teeth when you smile." A soft hiss came from the large metal door in front of them. It was happening. First contact. Olivia took a deep breath as the door slid open. The aliens waited on the other side. Olivia's eyes widened. They looked almost human in shape. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. But that's where the similarity ended. The one in front stood at least 7 feet tall. Her skin, Olivia somehow knew this one was female, shifted colors like the surface of a deep ocean. Dark blue with flecks of silver that moved and changed as she breathed. She wore a simple white robe with strange symbols that seemed to glow. But it was her eyes that made Olivia forget all her training. Each eye had 3 rings of color, gold in the center, then violet, then emerald green on the outside. They seemed to look through Olivia rather than at her. "I am Lyridian," the tall alien said, her voice musical and clear. No translation device was visible. "Princess of the Zarathi Confluence. We have watched your world for some time." Olivia tried to remember her prepared speech. The words seemed to slip away under the alien's gaze. "Welcome," she managed to say. "I am Lieutenant Commander Olivia Whelan of Earth. We are honored by your visit." Princess Lyridian tilted her head. "Your species has achieved much with such limited perception," she said. The words could have been an insult, but her tone held only interest. 4 other aliens stood behind the princess. They wore armor that seemed to be made of the same crystal as their ship. Their hands rested on what Olivia guessed were weapons. The silence stretched too long. Olivia knew she should stick to the script, talking about peace and cooperation. Instead, she found herself speaking from the heart. "Your eyes," she said softly. "They're like looking into the birth of stars." The room went still. The guards behind Princess Lyridian tensed. One reached for his weapon. Olivia realized she had made a terrible mistake. She had gone off script with the first aliens humanity had ever met. Then something unexpected happened. Princess Lyridian laughed. The sound reminded Olivia of wind chimes mixed with distant thunder. "In 4,000 cycles visiting 17 galaxies," the princess said. "You are the first to recognize what I truly am." She stepped closer to Olivia. The guard seemed surprised but didn't stop her. "And what you are about to become," Lyridian added in a lower voice. Olivia didn't understand what the princess meant, but she felt something change in the air between them. Like a connection had formed. "Please," Olivia said, finding her professional voice again. "Let us show you to the meeting room. We have prepared information about our world and people." Princess Lyridian nodded. "Yes, we have much to discuss. More than you can imagine." As they walked to the meeting room, Olivia noticed the princess watching her closely. The other humans seemed nervous, but Olivia felt strangely calm now. Like she had passed some test she didn't know she was taking. The next 5 hours went by in a blur. They exchanged basic information about their worlds. The Zarathi came from a planet orbiting a star 3,000 light-years from Earth. They had been traveling space for over 10,000 years. They had met many other species. What they didn't explain was why they had come to Earth now, or why Princess Lyridian kept looking at Olivia with those strange, 3-colored eyes. After the meeting, as the teams prepared to leave, Princess Lyridian approached Olivia alone. "You will have questions," the princess said, "about what happened when we met." Olivia nodded. "I went off script. I apologize if I caused offense." No offense was taken. Quite the opposite. Princess Lyridian's skin rippled with silver patterns. "Among my people, to see beyond the surface is rare. For one of another species to do so, That has never happened before. I don't understand. You will. Princess Liridian handed her a small crystal. When you are ready to learn more, hold this and think of our meeting. I will know and I will come to you. Olivia took the crystal. It felt warm in her hand. Why me? She asked. That is the right question, Princess Liridian said with approval. But the answer is complex. Let us say that the universe has patterns. Sometimes those patterns align in ways even we cannot predict. That night, back in her quarters on Earth's space station, Olivia couldn't sleep. She kept seeing those eyes in her mind, 3 rings of color, looking at her with recognition, as if they had been waiting for her specifically. She held the crystal the princess had given her, turning it over in her fingers. It seemed to pulse with a faint light that matched her heartbeat. Olivia didn't tell her superiors about it. Something told her this was between her and Princess Liridian alone, a connection that went beyond diplomatic relations. When she finally fell asleep, she dreamed of stars being born and worlds she had never seen. And through it all, those eyes watched her, guiding her through the cosmos. She woke with a start, the crystal glowing brightly in her hand. And somehow Olivia knew that everything was about to change. 3 months passed since Olivia first met Princess Liridian. Earth changed in that time. People now knew they were not alone in the universe. Some feared the aliens. Others welcomed them. Leaders argued about what to do. Through it all, Olivia worked as the main contact between humans and the Zorathi. She spent more and more time on their crystal ship. At first, she told herself it was for her job. But deep down, she knew there was more to it. Princess Liridian had requested Olivia specifically. The human who sees, she called her. Earth's governments agreed, happy to have someone the aliens trusted. Today, Olivia stood in the ship's observatory with Princess Liridian. The room had no visible walls or ceiling, just stars all around and Earth below them, blue and green and beautiful. Your world looks peaceful from here, Liridian said. Her voice had become familiar to Olivia now, like a song she had always known. It's not always peaceful, Olivia admitted, but we try. Liridian turned to look at her. Those 3 ringed eyes seemed to see inside Olivia's soul. It's time I told you the truth, the princess said. About why I came to Earth. About why you could see what others could not. Olivia had been waiting for this. Ever since that first meeting, she had felt something changing inside her. Strange dreams, headaches that came and went, moments when she could almost see things that weren't there. When you commented on my eyes, Liridian explained, you activated an ancient tradition among my people. When someone recognizes the divine spark in a Zorathi royal without being told about it first, it creates a bond. A bond? Olivia asked. A connection that goes beyond species or space, Liridian said. We call people like you Kirshara. It means starseer in your language. Olivia thought about the dreams she had been having. Dreams of stars and planets she had never seen. What does that mean for me? It means you are changing, Liridian said simply. Your mind is opening to see the universe as we do. It almost never happens with other species. But you are special. As if to prove her point, Liridian raised her hand. The stars around them seemed to zoom in, showing a solar system Olivia had never seen. This is my homeworld, Liridian said. Can you see it? Strangely, Olivia could. Not just see it, but feel it somehow. A world with 3 moons and rings like Saturn. Cities built into mountains that reached the clouds. Oceans that glowed at night. How am I doing this? Olivia whispered. Your mind is evolving, Liridian said. Soon your eyes will change too. Olivia thought about the headaches, the strange moments when her vision blurred then became too clear. Is it dangerous? All change has risk, Liridian admitted. But I will guide you. It is my responsibility since I recognize the potential in you. That night, Olivia couldn't sleep again. The crystal Liridian had given her months ago now sat on a stand next to her bed. It glowed softly, pulsing with her heartbeat. She got up and looked in the mirror. In the dim light, her eyes looked normal. Just the same hazel color they had always been. But then the crystal pulsed, and for a second Olivia saw something else. A silver ring forming around her pupil, inside her natural iris. It's really happening, she whispered to herself. The next morning, Olivia met with Dr. Maya Reed, the medical officer assigned to the diplomatic team. Maya had been Olivia's friend since college. She was the only person Olivia trusted enough to tell about the changes. I need you to scan my brain. Olivia said without preamble, and my eyes. But you can't record it or tell anyone. Maya looked concerned. What's going on, Liv? Just trust me, please. An hour later, they looked at the results together in Maya's private office. Maya pointed to the brain scan with a shaking finger. I've never seen anything like this, she said. Your neural pathways are changing, growing. It's like your brain is rewiring itself. And my eyes? Maya showed her another image. There's a structure forming, like a second iris growing inside your natural one. It's impossible. But Olivia knew it wasn't impossible. It was exactly what Liridian had said would happen. You need to tell someone, Maya insisted. The medical board, at least. This could be dangerous. No, Olivia said firmly. No one can know. Not yet. Later that day, Olivia returned to the Zarathi ship. She found Liridian in what they called the meditation chamber. The room was simple compared to the rest of the ship. Just a round space with a floor that seemed to be made of light. You've seen the changes, Liridian said. It wasn't a question. Yes, my friend helped me. She's worried. With good reason, Liridian admitted. The transformation is not easy. But it has already begun and it cannot be stopped. What will happen to me? Liridian gestured for Olivia to sit across from her on the light floor. You will develop abilities. First, enhanced perception. You'll see things others cannot. Energy fields. Quantum possibilities. Then, if your mind can handle it, more active abilities. Like what? Communication across vast distances. Manipulation of energy. Perhaps even more. Each starseer is different. Olivia tried to take this in. It sounded impossible. Yet part of her had always felt different, like she was meant for something beyond ordinary life. Why is this happening to me? She asked again. The universe chooses its vessels with purpose, Liridian said. Your species' adaptability makes you uniquely suited for what is coming. What is coming? Olivia asked, suddenly afraid. Before Liridian could answer, an alarm sounded throughout the ship. Lights flashed and the floor beneath them pulsed red. Liridian stood quickly. We must go to the bridge. They ran through corridors that seemed to shift and change around them. Zarathi crew members moved with purpose, their skin colors shifting to darker hues that Olivia now recognized as stress patterns. The bridge was a dome of crystal with floating displays all around. One large screen showed space outside the ship. Several objects were appearing, ships that looked nothing like Earth vessels or the Zarathi crystal ship. They were dark, angular, almost predatory in design. Olivia could feel their wrongness even before Liridian spoke. The Vex, the princess said, her voice tight. They found us. Who are they? Olivia asked, though something in her new senses already told her they were dangerous. Our oldest enemy, Liridian said. And now yours too. A Zarathi officer spoke rapidly in their language. Olivia was surprised to find she understood most of it. Another new ability, she realized. They're scanning us, the officer said, looking for the energy signature. Liridian looked at Olivia with worry in her three-ringed eyes. They know. Somehow they know about you. Me? Why would they care about me? Because, Liridian said gravely, they've been hunting starseers for millennia, and they've come to make sure you never complete your transformation. The ship shuddered as the first Vex vessel fired. The battle had begun, and Olivia suddenly understood that her compliment about Liridian's eyes had set in motion events that would change the fate of two species forever. The evacuation of the moon base happened in minutes. The Zarathi resistance had clearly practiced for this. Naya's forces moved with precision, loading essential equipment and personnel onto ships. We need to get to Earth now, Olivia insisted as they hurried toward the landing bay. The Vex will be expecting that, Naya argued. They'll have ships waiting in your solar system already. All the more reason to hurry, Liridian said. If they reach Earth first? The thought went unfinished, but Olivia knew what it meant. Earth had no defenses against the Vex, no knowledge of what was coming. They boarded the luminous tide along with 30 of Naya's best soldiers. The ship, designed for a crew of 100, felt crowded now. As they prepared for the jump to Earth, Olivia noticed something new about herself. The chaos around her, people shouting, alarms blaring, the ship shuddering as it launched, didn't overwhelm her anymore. Instead, she could focus on each sound separately, filtering out what wasn't important. Another new ability. The Vex have deployed a fold space disruptor, reported a Zarathi officer at the navigation console. We can't jump directly to the Earth system. How close can we get? Lyridian asked, the Cygnus arm. Then we'll need to make smaller jumps. That will take days, Olivia protested. Not necessarily, Naya said. She looked at Olivia with calculating eyes. A starseer can navigate fold space more precisely than our computers. Even one who isn't fully trained. Lyridian shook her head. She's not ready for that. The strain could kill her. And how many will die if we're too late? Naya countered. Olivia stepped between them. I'll do it. Olivia, you don't understand the risk, Lyridian said. Navigating fold space requires you to perceive 5 dimensions simultaneously. Most starseers train for years before attempting it. We don't have years, Olivia said simply. We don't even have days. I have to try. An hour later, Olivia sat in a strange chair in the center of the bridge. It seemed to be made of the same crystal as the ship itself, and it curved around her body like a cocoon. The chair will connect you directly to the ship's systems, Lyridian explained. You'll feel the ship as if it's part of your body. The navigation coordinates are already programmed. You just need to smooth the path. Olivia nodded, though she wasn't entirely sure what that meant. What do I do? Close your eyes. Feel the connection. When we enter fold space, you'll see the disruptions as turbulence, I suppose you could call it. You need to find the calm paths between them. Like finding the eye of a storm, Olivia suggested. Exactly. Naya stood nearby, watching with arms crossed. If she succeeds, we'll arrive near Earth within hours instead of days. If she fails, I won't fail, Olivia said with more confidence than she felt. As the chair activated, Olivia gasped. Suddenly she could feel the entire ship. From the engine room to the outer hull, she could sense each person aboard as a point of light in her mind. And beyond that, she could feel space itself, a vast ocean ready to be crossed. Entering fold space in 3, 2, 1, called the navigation officer. The stars outside the viewport stretched and twisted. The ship shuddered. And then Olivia wasn't on the bridge anymore. At least her mind wasn't. She floated in a strange realm where space itself folded like fabric. Ahead she could see distortions, the Vex disruptions. They looked like whirlpools in a river, dangerous and unpredictable. But between them, yes, there were paths. Narrow and winding, but they existed. Olivia reached out with her mind, gently nudging the ship's course. A little to the left here, up there, then down and right. The ship responded to her thoughts instantly. It was the most natural thing in the world, like moving her own arm or leg. They slipped between the disruptions, finding a clear path where none had seemed to exist. Time lost meaning. It could have been minutes or hours that Olivia guided the ship through the folded dimensions of space. She became aware of a pressure building in her mind, a strain that grew with each passing moment. Blood trickled from her nose, but she barely noticed. Almost there, she whispered, though she wasn't sure if she spoke aloud or just in her mind. With a final push, they broke through the last barrier. Normal space reappeared around them. And there, shining blue and green against the blackness, was Earth. But they weren't alone. 5 Vex ships hung in orbit, dark angular vessels that seemed to absorb the light around them. And beyond them, more were appearing, tearing holes in space as they arrived. They're already here, Naya said grimly. Olivia tried to stand from the chair, but her legs wouldn't hold her. Lyridian caught her as she collapsed. Easy, the princess said. What you did was incredible, but you need to rest. No time, Olivia managed to say. Her vision swam, but she forced herself to focus. We need to warn Earth. The communications officer was already trying. Earth defense channels are jammed. The Vex are blocking all frequencies. They're scanning the planet, reported another officer. Looking for starseer potential. Olivia felt cold fear grip her heart. They're looking for others like me. Yes, Lyridian confirmed. Any human with the potential to become a starseer will stand out to their scanners. They'll target those people first. How many would there be? Olivia asked. Lyridian and Naya exchanged glances again. Based on population and genetics, perhaps thousands, Lyridian said. Maybe more. Thousands of people who didn't know what was happening, who had no idea why aliens suddenly wanted them dead, all because they had the same potential Olivia did. We need to get through their blockade, Naya said, already thinking tactically. Hit their command ship and take out their jammers. Their fleet outnumbers us 20 to 1, objected her lieutenant. Then we'll need help, Olivia said. An idea was forming in her mind. A crazy, impossible idea. The other seed worlds. You said there were two others besides Earth, right? Yes, Liridian said. But they're light years away. We can't reach them in time. We don't need to reach them physically, Olivia said. Not if what you told me about starseers is true, she explained her plan. It was dangerous, perhaps suicidal, but it was the only chance Earth had. 6 hours later, Olivia sat in the meditation chamber with Liridian and Naya. They formed a triangle, each connected to the others by thin strands of crystal that glowed with inner light. This has never been attempted across such distances, Liridian warned one last time, even among fully trained starseers. But it's possible, Olivia insisted. You said starseers can communicate across vast distances. That's all we need to do, send a message. A message, yes. What you're proposing is much more. We have to try, Olivia said. Earth's defense forces won't stand a chance unless they know what they're fighting. And the other seed worlds need to be warned too. Naya surprisingly supported her. The human is right. If we do nothing, the Vex win. They destroy Earth, then find and destroy the remaining seed worlds. This ends now, one way or another. Liridian finally nodded. Very well. But follow my guidance exactly. The mind can become lost between stars if you're not careful. They began the connection ritual. Olivia closed her eyes, focusing on her breathing as Liridian had taught her. She felt her consciousness expanding, reaching out beyond her body, beyond the ship. First, she connected with Liridian. Their minds touched, then merged partially. Olivia could feel the princess's thoughts, her memories, her essence. Thousands of years of life and knowledge opened to her. Then Naya joined them, her mind sharp and focused like a blade. The three of them became a triangle of consciousness, stronger together than apart. Now, Liridian's voice echoed in Olivia's mind. Reach for the stars. Find the pattern of the seed worlds. Olivia stretched her awareness outward past the solar system into the vast gulf between stars. It was like trying to swim across an ocean. Impossible, overwhelming. She began to lose herself in the vastness. Focus, came Naya's mental voice. Find the resonance. The architects left a path. Olivia didn't understand what that meant, but she trusted Naya. She stopped trying to reach everywhere at once and instead listened, felt for something calling to her across the void. There, a faint hum like a distant tuning fork vibrating at the perfect frequency to match her own mind. She followed it, stretching her consciousness along its path. Images flashed through her mind. A world with two suns and endless deserts. Cities built beneath the sand. People who looked almost human, but with skin that shifted color like a chameleon. Their eyes. Some had the beginning of a second iris, though they didn't know what it meant. The second seed world, Liridian confirmed in her mind. Terran. Its people are older than humanity by 50,000 years, but they've taken a different path. Olivia pushed her consciousness toward them, seeking minds that might hear her. She found several at once. Teachers, scientists, thinkers who had developed mental abilities without understanding what they were. Listen, she projected as strongly as she could. Danger comes. The Vex hunt worlds like yours, like mine. She felt confusion, fear, then understanding. She sent images of the Vex ships, of Earth under attack, of the architect's chamber with its map of seed worlds. Prepare, she told them, and reach for the third world. Help us form the network. The Zorathi ship jumped to light speed, stars stretching into lines around them. Olivia held onto a strange curved rail as the ship moved faster than any human vessel ever had. The Vex believe that only their bloodline can have starseer abilities, Liridian explained once they were safely away. A human starseer threatens everything they believe. Olivia looked at the tactical display. She could now read the Zorathi symbols, another new ability that had appeared overnight. They sent 5 warships just for me. For what you represent, Liridian corrected. The Vex have ruled a third of the galaxy for thousands of years by keeping the secret of starseers to themselves. If other species can develop the same abilities, then their power isn't special anymore, Olivia finished. Over the next 6 weeks, they stayed on the move. The Zorathi ship, which Olivia learned was called the Luminous Tide, never stayed in one place for more than a day. They jumped between stars, hiding in nebulas, using gas giants to mask their energy signature. All the while, Olivia's transformation continued. The headaches grew worse, then suddenly stopped. When they did, her vision changed. She could now see energy fields around living things. When she looked at the Zorathi crew, Each had a unique pattern of light surrounding them. Liridian's light was the brightest, with swirls of gold and violet that matched her eyes. During the quiet moments between jumps, the princess taught Olivia to use her new abilities. Focus on the water, Liridian instructed in the meditation chamber. A bowl of clear liquid floated between them. See beyond its surface to the molecules that make it what it is. Olivia stared at the water. At first she saw only water. Then slowly her vision shifted. The liquid became a cloud of tiny particles moving and connecting. Now imagine separating them, Liridian said softly. Hydrogen here, oxygen there. Olivia raised her hand, not sure what she was doing but following an instinct. To her amazement, the water separated into two distinct clouds of particles, one larger than the other. I'm doing it, she whispered in awe. Yes, Liridian said with pride, faster than any initiate I've ever seen. Each day brought new lessons. Olivia learned to shield her thoughts from detection, to interface with Zorathi technology directly through touch, to see possible futures branching out from each moment like paths in a forest. And each day her eyes changed more. The silver ring inside her iris grew more distinct. Sometimes when she used her abilities strongly, it would glow softly. Where are we going? Olivia asked one day as they prepared for another jump. Earth now seemed like a distant memory, though she still worried about what would happen if the Vex found her home. To the only person who might help us, Liridian said, my cousin, Commander Naya. She leads the resistance against the Vex in the outer territories. You have a resistance? Why haven't you mentioned her before? Liridian's skin darkened with emotion. Naya and I have different views on how to deal with the Vex. She believes in direct action. I have preferred diplomacy. Until now, Olivia noted. Until now, Liridian agreed. They arrived at a small moon orbiting a gas giant with rings that made Saturn look plain. The moon was mostly ice on the surface, but sensors showed vast caverns beneath. A hidden base greeted them, carved into the ice and rock. Armed Zorathi met them at the landing bay. They looked harder than Liridian's crew, with battle scars and armor that had seen use. Commander Naya waited in the center. She was slightly shorter than Liridian but broader, clearly a warrior. Her eyes had the same 3 rings but with copper instead of gold in the center. Her skin was darker blue, almost black, with silver patterns that looked like star maps. The royal princess graces us with her presence, Naya said, her tone making it clear this wasn't a happy family reunion. And brings a half-formed starseer to my doorstep with the Vex 9th Fleet in pursuit. Hello to you too, cousin, Liridian said calmly. We need your help. Your sentimentality will be our undoing, Naya replied, looking Olivia over with critical eyes. What made you think a human could handle the transformation? Most Zorathi cannot. She is learning faster than any initiate in our recorded history, Liridian said. Show her, Olivia. Olivia looked around and spotted a fountain in the corner of the landing bay. She focused on the water, now finding it easy to see the molecular structure. With a gesture, she separated the hydrogen and oxygen, creating a spinning double helix of elements that glowed with inner light. Murmurs spread through the watching Zorathi soldiers. Even Naya looked impressed, though she tried to hide it. Perhaps there is potential, she admitted. But potential without purpose is merely a weapon waiting to be claimed. Later, after being shown to quarters deep within the base, Olivia asked Liridian about Naya's comment. What did she mean about purpose? Liridian sat beside her on the strange curved bench that served as furniture. Starseers have great power, but power needs direction. Some use it for knowledge, some for creation. Some for destruction, Olivia guessed. Yes. The Vex Starseers focus their abilities on domination. They can break minds, destroy infrastructure with a thought, even tear apart the fabric of space itself for their weapons. Is that what you fear I'll become? Liridian touched Olivia's hand gently. No, I have seen your heart. But Naya has fought the Vex for centuries. She is slow to trust. That night, Olivia dreamed more vividly than ever before. She saw Earth, but not as it was now. Earth as it could be, with crystal cities like the Zorathi had, humans and aliens working together, and other images. Humans with eyes like hers, with silver and gold rings inside their irises, doing amazing things. Then the dream changed. She saw Earth burning, Vex ships darkening the sky, people running, screaming, and through it all a presence watching her, aware of her even in the dream. She woke with a gasp. The room was dark, but she could see perfectly now. Another new ability. And she knew with certainty that something had been in her mind. "They found me," she whispered. "Through my dreams." She ran barefoot through the ice corridors to Lyridian's quarters. The princess was already awake, as if she had felt Olivia's distress. "They were in my mind," Olivia said. "The Vex, they saw Earth." Lyridian's face showed rare fear. "Then we have less time than I thought. They'll go there looking for more like you. More like me? There aren't any others, aren't there?" Lyridian asked. "How do you know you're the only human with the potential to be a starseer?" The question hit Olivia like a physical blow. She had assumed she was unique, special. But what if she wasn't? What if there were others who could do what she was learning to do? "We need to warn Earth," she said urgently. "Yes," Lyridian agreed. "But first, there's something you need to see. Something that explains everything." The next morning, Lyridian and Naya led Olivia deep beneath the moon's surface. They passed through security checkpoints and ancient doors with symbols Olivia had never seen before, even with her new understanding of Zorathi writing. "These tunnels were not made by us," Naya explained as they walked. "They were here long before the Zorathi found this moon. Before the Vex. Before any of the current galactic civilizations. Who built them?" Olivia asked. "We call them the architects," Lyridian said. "They left messages, for those who could read them." They arrived at a sealed door that looked different from the others. It seemed to shift between solid matter and energy, never quite one or the other. Naya placed her hand on a panel and the door recognized her three-ringed eyes. It opened with a sound like distant singing. "Your world is not what you believe it to be," Naya said as they entered a vast chamber. Ancient glyphs covered the walls, glowing softly with inner light. As they approached the center of the chamber, Olivia felt a strange resonance like music heard through her bones rather than her ears. It grew stronger with each step. The chamber opened to reveal a spherical projection of the Milky Way galaxy, rotating slowly in the air. 12 points of light glowed across its spiral arms. "Earth," said Naya, pointing to one of the glowing markers, "is not your species' origin point. It is one of the 12 seed worlds planted by the architects when they foresaw the coming void." Olivia stared in disbelief at the map. One of the glowing points was clearly Earth. But the implications of what Naya was saying. "You're saying humans are..." "What, an alien experiment?" "All sentient life was seeded with purpose," Lyridian corrected gently. "The architects created diversity as a defense against extinction. Each seed world evolved differently, but all carry the same fundamental coding in their DNA, the potential to awaken as starseers." The map shifted, showing historical events from Earth's history, alongside parallel developments on other worlds, patterns that couldn't be coincidental. "The Vex discovered this truth millennia ago," continued Naya. "They've been systematically finding and destroying seed worlds to prevent any challenge to their dominion. Earth has remained hidden longer than most because of its remote location." Olivia felt the weight of this revelation pressing against her chest. Everything she believed about human history, about her own species, was being rewritten in front of her eyes. "How many seed worlds remain?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Lyridian and Naya exchanged glances. 3, Lyridian finally answered, "including Earth." The battle for Earth had already been raging for hours when the luminous tide arrived. The view from the bridge showed chaos. Earth's military ships, designed for conflicts between nations, not aliens, fought with desperate courage. The vessels from the second seed world, which called themselves the Tyranni, moved with incredible speed, striking Vex ships and vanishing before they could respond. But the Vex were powerful. 3 massive dreadnoughts hung in high orbit, each larger than anything humans had built, and behind them waited something worse. A planet killer, a ship designed to crack a world open like an egg. "They're evacuating civilians," Lyridian noted, pointing to streams of small ships leaving Earth's atmosphere. "Your friend Maya must have convinced them of the danger." Olivia nodded, feeling both pride and fear for her home. "Where are they going?" "Emergency jump points," Naya explained. "We've sent coordinates for safe harbors in Zorathi territory. Those who escape will be protected." But Olivia knew most of Earth's population would never reach those ships. Billions would die if the Vex succeeded. She stood on the bridge between Lyridian and Naya, fully transformed now. Her skin had developed a subtle glow that shifted with her emotions, similar to the Zorathi but more subdued, and her eyes now contained 3 complete irises. hazel silver, and a new golden ring that had formed during their journey to Earth. The Vex have deployed 3 dreadnoughts and a planet killer, reported Lieutenant Kate Hawkins. She was one of the human officers who had joined their cause after Olivia's mental contact. Her own eyes showed the beginning of a silver ring marking her as a potential starseer. They're positioning for a final strike on Earth. Olivia studied the tactical display, her enhanced perception allowing her to see patterns in the chaos. The Vex ships moved in precise formations, but there was something off about their positioning. Their formation has a weakness, she realized. They're not accounting for solar flare activity in Sector 7. The sun was unusually active today, sending out electromagnetic pulses that human sensors couldn't detect. But Olivia could see them clearly with her new senses. Lyridian nodded. Can you exploit it? Not alone, Olivia answered, turning to face both Zorathi leaders. But the 3 of us together. She explained her plan quickly. It was dangerous, even more so than the mental network they had created earlier. But if it worked, it might save Earth. You're talking about a Trinity convergence, Naya said, sounding impressed. That hasn't been attempted in 10,000 years. What's a Trinity convergence? Kate asked. 3 starseers joining not just their minds but their abilities, Lyridian explained. It creates a power greater than the sum of its parts. But the risk is worth it, Olivia finished. We have no choice. They set up in the center of the bridge. The crew cleared a space, forming a circle around them. Olivia, Lyridian, and Naya stood in a triangle, hands linked. What we're about to attempt will draw the attention of every Vex ship, Lyridian warned the crew. Be ready. And if we fail, Naya added grimly, be ready to flee. Save who you can. Olivia closed her eyes, focusing on the connection between the 3 of them. It came easier now after their previous joining. Their minds linked, then began to merge more deeply than before. But this time they didn't reach outward to distant stars. Instead, they reached inward, combining their starseer abilities into something new. Olivia felt herself rising, her consciousness expanding to encompass the ship, then beyond. She could sense every human on Earth with potential, every dormant starseer waiting to be awakened, thousands of points of light unaware of what they could become. Now, Lyridian's voice echoed in her mind. Reach for them. Not with words this time, with power. Olivia extended her awareness, touching the minds of those potential starseers. But instead of simply communicating, she channeled energy to them, like a spark jumping to waiting tinder. Across Earth and throughout the battle zone, hundreds of humans experienced a momentary awakening. Not a full transformation like Olivia's, but enough to connect them to the Starseer network. Gun crews on military ships suddenly fired with impossible accuracy, their targeting systems guided by intuition that went beyond training. Pilots maneuvered with moves they couldn't have explained, avoiding Vex weapons by sensing them before they fired. Engineers found solutions to critical system failures through flashes of insight that came from somewhere beyond conscious thought. The effect rippled through the human forces. The tide of battle began to shift slowly but surely, but the Vex noticed. The planet killer began to move, positioning itself for a direct strike on Earth. If it fired, all their efforts would be for nothing. We need to stop that ship. Naya's voice was strained with effort. I know how, Olivia replied. An idea had formed in her mind, born from the combined knowledge of all 3 Starseers. She focused their combined power, creating a quantum barrier at the exact point where the planet killer's weapon would fire. The barrier wasn't physical. It existed partly in dimensions humans couldn't perceive, but it was real. And when the Vex weapon discharged, the barrier didn't just block the energy, it reflected it. The massive beam meant for Earth's destruction bounced back along its path, striking the planet killer at its most vulnerable point. The Vex ship shuddered, then began to break apart, secondary explosions tearing through its structure. The Vex fleet faltered in shock. In that moment of confusion, the combined Earth, Zorathi, and Tirani forces pressed their advantage. Ships from the Third Seed World arrived, late but welcome reinforcements. The battle turned decisively. Hours later, as relief ships landed on Earth and the Vex fleet retreated from the solar system, Olivia stood with Lyridian in the garden of what had once been her apartment building in Seattle. The fighting had missed this area, leaving it peaceful despite the chaos elsewhere in the world. It begins now, said Lyridian, watching as a young girl across the garden stared at them with wonder. The child's eyes already showed the faintest hint of a second iris forming. The awakening of the third seed world. Olivia nodded, finally understanding the true meaning behind that first exchange months ago. When he praised her eyes, the alien princess replied in a way no one expected, not with offense or dismissal, but with recognition of a shared destiny that would forever alter the course of two civilizations. They'll need teachers, Olivia said, looking toward the horizon where more ships were landing, bringing representatives from the remaining seed worlds. The Tyranny had already established an embassy in what remained of the United Nations complex. The third seed world, which called themselves the Aquari, were sending scientists and philosophers to help humanity understand its new place in the galaxy. They'll have us, Lyridian replied, her hand finding Olivia's, their fingers intertwining across the divide of stars. Earth would never be the same. The Vex would return eventually. Their defeat here was just the beginning of a longer conflict. But for the first time in millennia, the seed world stood united. Humans were discovering abilities they never knew they possessed, and Olivia Whelan, who had once been just a diplomatic officer with decent language skills, now stood at the center of it all. Maya approached them, a tablet in her hand. Her eyes showed the silver ring of a developing starseer, one of many who had awakened during the battle. The provisional government wants to meet with you, she told Olivia. They have questions. Many questions. I imagine they do, Olivia said with a small smile. Tell them we'll be there shortly. As Maya left, Olivia looked up at the night sky. Stars shone brightly, and among them the ships of 3 allied worlds. She could sense the connections between them now, a web of consciousness spanning the galaxy, growing stronger by the hour. Do you regret it? Lyridian asked softly. That day when you commented on my eyes? The path it set you on? Olivia considered the question. Her life had been turned upside down. Earth faced challenges it had never imagined. The future was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. But she could feel the potential all around her. In the children who would grow up knowing the truth about their origins. In the adults discovering abilities they had always sensed but never understood. In the alliance forming between worlds that had been separated for too long. No, she said finally. Some paths choose us. This one chose both of us. A shooting star streaked across the sky. Not a star at all, but a Zarathi ship arriving to help with the reconstruction efforts. Olivia watched it with her 3-ringed eyes, seeing not just its physical form but the quantum possibilities surrounding it, the strands of destiny weaving through time and space. What happens now? She asked. Now, said Lyridian, we build something new, together. In the garden, the young girl with the forming second iris in her eyes watched them with wonder. In her hand she held a small crystal, similar to the one Lyridian had given Olivia months ago. It glowed softly in time with her heartbeat, a beacon of what was to come. The future had arrived, unexpected and wondrous, all because of a simple compliment about an alien princess's eyes.